Okay, good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk about rhetoric in the news. So you're going to see nothing but the truth is going to be a story where there's going to be an event. And then because you have different people's perspectives on it, different people have different thoughts and different feelings about how that event happened. And additionally, what you're going to see is that newspapers will be picking up on this event and they will be talking about their feeling on the facts. And what I want to prove to you today is that the news uses a lot of different methods in order to make you think or believe something. So let's talk about just three of them today, and they all fall under this category of rhetoric. So let's start. What is rhetoric? Rhetoric is persuasive speaking or writing. This can be done via speech or writing. It effectively makes someone think, believe, or feel a certain way. So there's three different parts of rhetoric. There's three different things that people do to make other people think, believe, or feel a certain way. So I'm going to tell you what they are and how they work. First one is called ethos. Ethos is the ethical appeal. Ethical appeal means to convince the reader of the author's credibility or character. And it works for the reader by showing the reader that the writer or story is worth reading or listening to. Right. So for this one, I want you thinking about ETH and ETH. You'll see why with the next one, but keep the ETH and the ETH together, right? So this is to convince the reader of the author's credibility, right? Who I am and why I'm worth listening to. Right? So the example I always like to give is Donald Trump. Not about his politics. We're talking about who he is as a speaker, right? And when you look at someone like Trump, okay, Trump, when he says things like, I am a very successful business person. I have done deals with China before. I have done deals with Mexico before, right? Saying things like that shows you that he's credible, that he's done it before, and that he has the ability to do it again. Right? So that's ethos and that's ethics. I move on to pathos. Pathos is the emotional appeal. Emotional appeal. This means to persuade the reader by appealing to their emotions. So we're trying to bring out emotions in the reader. This is the one that people do wrong most of the time. I want you to take really careful notes here. This middle one means to persuade the reader by appealing to keyword their emotions. So when you're looking at pathos, you should be telling me the words that the speaker uses, right? And then henceforth the emotion that it's tied to. Well, the speaker said this, and that made the audience feel sad. Well, the speaker said this, and that made the audience feel happy. Okay, so we go back to Donald Trump. Donald Trump saying things like, we need to build the wall to keep out bad people. That makes people afraid. Or him saying that we need to make America great again makes people feel pride. Okay? So it's the words and it's the emotions for that one. Okay? And the key is their emotions. Please don't tell me that the speaker is sad and that's pathos. It's only pathos if the speaker's sadness also makes the audience sad. And lastly, logos. Logos is the appeal to logic. Okay? This is thinking, this is the brain. Means to convince the reader by use of logic or reason. Makes the reader draw connections. And there's a few things, a few quick tips you can do for this one. Okay, when authors or speakers are trying to use logic They're going to use words like but, okay, however, if. Right? Try to find those words when people are speaking. Right? If we build the wall, then we'll keep out the bad people. Right? That's logos. If you elect me as president, then I will fix the economy. Okay, that's logos. So again, all speakers use ethos, pathos, and logos to convince the audience to think, feel, or believe something. So here's your task. Okay, here's your homework. What I'd like you to do, and this is going to be on Classroom, is I like you, after watching this video, is find a newspaper article online. I'd like you to write a 1-paragraph response in this little table down here. I want you to pick one rhetorical device that article uses, right? Just one. I want you to define it. Okay. I want you to quote it. Then I want you to explain how that quote is an example of that device. Okay, so very quickly, this should say something like pathos is how a speaker convinces an audience via their emotion, right? The article I found is blah, blah, blah. One quote that shows pathos is blank. This quote shows pathos because blah, 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 right? That's essentially what I'm asking you guys to do. Right? So make sure that you're reading, make sure that you're posting, and then complete this assignment on Google Classroom. Have a good week.